Before jumping back into corporate America, we dealt with the roller coaster financial life of freelancers, as well as the usual complement of personal dramas, adjusting to parenthood, navigating illness, and other crises, all the while trying to find a little time to spend with each other. As the pressures of life and work piled up, we found ourselves having the kinds of arguments we swore we never would, bickering over money, time, sex, peace, independence, and sleep, or lack thereof. Sound familiar? When did this happen? When had we morphed into the kinds of people who struggle to make time for everything, from an hour at the gym to an after-work drink with friends? This wasn't what we signed up for. Like many contemporary working couples, we found ourselves at sea, so focused on basic survival, simply striving to get through the week without dropping too many balls, that we fell out of touch with everything, from small tasks, like cleaning the house, to the larger, more important concerns that give our lives meaning, like enjoying our kids and each other, or planning for our long-term dreams, such as owning our own home. There isn't a faster track to arguing than when two depleted working parents find themselves faced with school clothes that suddenly don't fit. Are all of his jeans this short? Having to scurry to the store for the 10th time in a week for basic household items and food. Running out of baby formula was a personal specialty of ours. Or opening an overdue, and therefore credit-damaging electric bill, found buried in the neglected mountain of mail by the front door. All of those little things build up to a constant, marriage-threatening drumbeat of tension, stress, and conflict, and all too often, the overall effect sneaks up on a couple. When you are already overwhelmed with trying to excel as a parent, a professional, and a partner, recognizing that there's a problem, let alone creating the time and mental space to solve it, can seem beyond daunting. But after argument number 345, about something as ridiculous as who was going to pick up the gift for a child's birthday party we were going to that very afternoon, we realized that something had to change. For the sake of our sanity and the health of our marriage, we had to take back control of our schedule, time, and responsibilities. We skipped couples therapy and self-help books because, frankly, even at our darkest point, when our increasingly fraying tempers led us to quarrel several times a day, we recognized that our problems weren't emotional, but practical. We finally saw the light one snowy winter weekend on a long drive home from an out-of-town trip. With the kids napping in the back seat, we began talking about all the things we had to deal with, get done, and even just think about. Before we knew it, we were having a joint panic attack. There were so many things that needed to be addressed that by the time we'd listed the last 5, we couldn't remember the first. "You know what we need?" Caitlin asked, then answered her own question, with the 2 words that changed our lives. A meeting. Andrew knew right away what she meant. When we used to work together in an office, we had a lot to juggle. Employees, clients, budgets, and even our romantic relationship. But it never felt overwhelming. A big reason was the weekly sit-down our professional team held. No matter how busy we were, every Monday we gathered around a table with our colleagues and reviewed the week's to-do list, deciding who would handle what and by when. At the end of that meeting, all the sundry tasks required to keep things on track had been divvied up into manageable lists for each member of the team. Inspired by that memory, Caitlin fished a notebook and pen out of her purse. While Andrew drove, we began assembling our own personal list, the way we used to create a professional one. Within a few minutes of free associating, we had an inventory of what needed to happen. Then we began deciding who would do what and by when. By the time we parked the car at home, Caitlin ripped 2 sheets of paper from her notebook, his and hers to-do lists for the week. The exercise took less than an hour, but the next week went so well, each of us crossing things off our respective lists, according to when we had the time and energy to deal with them, that the following Saturday, as we were having our morning coffee, we both had the same inspiration. We need another meeting. Before we knew it, We were having meetings every Saturday. The results were so life-altering that a broader thought occurred to us. Why not take it a step further? Why not apply other workplace systems and skills to running our household, rather than allowing it to run us? Some of this happened organically. For example, as we divvied up tasks in that weekly meeting, we realized that we each gravitated naturally towards certain roles.